Hey there, it's Tuesday, April 8th, 11 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see if I made it there. See, my phone is dead. Hello. I know I haven't done it yet. I just was waiting. I was waiting to see if something else was going to show up. And so far it has not. So let me just, okay, I'm here. Carl Hess is here. William, Melanie, and Patty. Hi, how are you? What is going on? Drinking water? Patty, I got this really great recipe. And I thought, what if I did that and Patty did the other? But I'm not switching up. We're going to do your cousin's carrot cake tomorrow morning. Kids, we're making, hey Carl, we're making carrot cake tomorrow morning. I have carrots, I have everything. Julie Luce, how was today? Maybe you could do display and share on Friday night and tell us all about it. But I wish there was 5 minutes in the hour that we're on that you could be on with your kids and we could discuss because we missed you in the morning. Julie, what? I don't know if it's ever going to be the same now. Everybody's here. Gracie, where are you? Oh, you did? Yeah, I bet it is. It's everywhere right now. It's immersing everyone in this country. Not that, but the Van Gogh exhibit. Yeah. Wow. So it's Tuesday. Tomorrow morning is Wednesday. Wednesday means we bake with Patty. Wednesday night, my friend Naomi is going to be here. Thursday morning, kind of chill. Kind of need to just chill a little bit. And then Thursday night is the conversation with creatives. And I had somebody all set up, my friend Victoria, but now she has to work because she has a restaurant. And I've made a couple calls to a couple of creative people that you have not met yet. So I'm waiting to hear which one of those creatives is going to bail first. And then I'm just kidding. Who ends up being there, who's here, who comes, right, Papa? And then Friday morning is birthday boy. He's still celebrating, I think. Armando Ortega. Hey, John, the magic bus. You need to come back and show us what's up in the magic bus because, John, we'll time this because I have a record coming out on Blue Coast in July. So if you don't get back before then, definitely want you on for the unveiling of the new record. It's called Mutineer. You're my witness, I'm your mutineer. Long ago, I miss you all this morning. Looks like I'll be home on Monday mornings to check in. Cool, we'll meander. You can jump on and we'll meander. Mama Grace in the house. We ran around today. It's so exciting right now. Hey, Rob, Morocco. What is the town? Dead. It's really nice here. 10th anniversary of the Magic Bus. Dude, you got to come on. And this Thursday's conversation with the creatives. Next Thursday? What is next Thursday?
Coming this Thursday, lives will be changed forever. 11/11 with Jenna presents Corona Rocky International Limited. Bring your best, just stay home. Live from her state-of-the-art studios, the Lily Pad, broadcasting throughout space and around the world to each and every home. 11:11 with Jenna. Right now. Be there, or you will be talked about. 11:11 with Jenna. Corona International Limited this Thursday.
Oh, it's not. But whenever I hear his voice now, I just go, oh, he was on my show. Next Thursday, this Thursday, Conversation with the Creative, whichever creative gets back to me first, is going to be on the show. Rob Morocco, Carol Morocco, and then let's see, then it's Friday, and then Friday night Display and Share, and Saturday morning Jeff, Saturday night Gary, Sunday morning I Smooth, Sunday night's Musician Square Table, Monday morning is Julie Loose and Meandering, Monday night we meditate, Tuesday morning, what do we do today? Oh, I made a smoothie. It was good too. It gave me, but yeah, a sweet roll would have been good thrown in there. I got you. And then, oh, happy anniversary. I want the new album for demonstration purposes. Talk to Cookie. But we could play it on the show. Yeah. I mean, like, this is a really good record. Oops, hold on. Wait, sir. Hold it. Release over. Plugged in. 11 of you here. So Tuesday nights. What happens on Tuesday nights? I'll show you what happens on Tuesday nights. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Rader. Dr. Andrew Rader. There he is. He was probably binge watching something. Thanks, Dave. Hello, Dr. Andrew Rader. Oh.
Hello, Jenna Mammina.
So John Arbor always says, Jenna Mammina, do. John DeFazio. Hi, John DeFazio. We are coast to coast. Is there a show, John? No way. Sorry. There's a show? The show is happening? The show is happening? Cookie and I haven't talked about it. Well, I don't know. How are you, sir?
Me? Talking to me?
Yes. Oh, wait a second. We got Mexico on the line. Chris Parsons. Hello. Hi, Chris.
Wow.
Chris, you need to come on the show. Message me. Come hang out on the show. Cool. Yes, totally coast to coast, up and down. Right now, Canada, United States, coast to coast, and Mexico are on the show right now. And Marin County with Dr. Andrew Rader. What's happening?
Wow. Well, I get the house to myself with Emma dog. There's Emma right there. See?
Emma girl. Hi, Emma.
Well, she's mostly blind,
Yeah,
mostly deaf.
Yeah. She heard something though.
Almost 16. Yeah, she hears the important things.
Yeah, her name and food. Maybe?
Yeah, and she can still tell time, although the time change.
Does that mess her up a little bit?
Yeah, but still around 4-ish, 4:30-ish, she's bugging me for dinner.
Emma, she's a girl. No, I'm not stuttering, Chris. You have slow internet. Hi, Emma. So Sean is out of town.
Yeah.
And so what did you have for lunch today?
Oh, I think lunch was my first meal, but I had to eat a little early because I had to go to jury duty.
What? Tell us.
Yeah.
I know you can't tell us, but so you went through
Well,
the process today?
this might be one of the, I don't know how long they've been doing jury duty since COVID,
Yeah.
because they shut the courts down. And so I've been close enough before, never got fully onto a jury, but the way the system works here is you can get called once a year,
Right.
often.
Yeah.
And if you call the night before,
Yeah.
50% of the time you're released.
Easily 50.
That's easily, that's good for a year. But what was different this time is you walk into the room that normally has about 150 people, and there were 20 chairs for prospective jurors. And you fill out the obligatory COVID questions, and then you
They
see a
didn't test
quick.
you up before you walked in there?
Well, they have this super.
didn't.
No, they have this infrared camera that's shooting you about 6 feet away, and your whole body shows up as infrared. Oh man, it was fun because
You like that?
this part of my hand different than my fingers, and I could have spent a good amount of time just checking out this
So if I
infrared.
go like this, that reminds me of in the airport for a while, they had those puffer machines. Do you remember that?
I think they still have them.
Ooh, I don't like that. The very first time I went through there, poof, 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 poof. I left my wallet. I ran away. I was so freaked out. I'm like, dude, I live in West Oakland. You can't like shoot and not expect me to be like, oh, I got on the plane and then they called me. They're like, Jenna Mammina, is this your wallet? I'm like, yeah. Oh, you left it at the, yeah, I know I did because I felt like I was getting shot up.
Before the plane pushed back.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That kicked off all jury selections, and judges want to have coffee with me because they think I'm a piece of work. Well, you are a piece of work, huh? You're a good piece of work. So you want to do this.
Well, I have mixed feelings. This time, you don't go into a courtroom. They tell you fill out. It took me 45 minutes to fill out this elaborate questionnaire dealing with this particular case. Yeah, including a full page of single space names of all the people who are involved, the judge's staff, the sheriffs, the whatever, the DA, the defenders. Do you know any of these people? There are probably 100 names. And
Did
you really
you know
have
any of them at all?
I did not.
I probably did.
Then they want to know.
I'd be like, oh yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah, they want to know background, education. Do you know anyone in these fields? Like, yeah, my sister.
Like, what were the fields?
Well,
what were the fields?
I hear ringing and tingling, and
I'll
just let it go.
It's just me. You know what it is? Actually, it's your message. It just came through.
And Cher is distracting me back there. Yeah. Let's talk about Cher for a moment. Have you discussed her yet?
Well, she came in the mail last week, and Grace displayed her on display in Cher this past Friday.
She could have been on that mega ship that got blocked up, that went aground in the Suez.
Why do you say she could have been?
Well, where do you think Cher came from?
Fresno.
No.
You mean this Cher?
This Cher.
Oh, because Cher's from Fresno. This is like 20 years old.
Is Cher really from Fresno?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's Sonny from? Or where
He's an
was
East Coast guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this Cher, she's like 20 years old.
Wow.
think she's Canadian.
Is this one of the collector items that you have to,
Yeah.
somebody kept it in a box, never opened it for 20 years? And now how much, can I ask, how much?
You know, it was sent to me as to be on display and share.
Wow.
And then I traded some CDs for them for it. It was share CD for chair. No, she wasn't made in China. Actually, she's made in Indonesia for the Mattel Canada Incorporated. So it's in French. Rob, Carol, another Canadian right here. Fresno, she's half Fresno, half Canadian.
Wow.
She's can't get there. So hi, Chris Parsons. That's so cool. Chris Parsons is basically the reason I go to that festival in Mexico every year. That we're all going, Chris, real quick. Chris, we're taking over a hotel in San Pancho for the San Pancho Music Festival with about 7 or 8 or 9 people right here on the show. Can you post a link to the festival and just say how great it is? Chris, you got to come on the show. What dimples you have, Jenna. So anyway, so you have this questionnaire, and is it a case that you know about? Had you read about this at all, Andy? Really?
But it happened about 4 years ago. So the wheels of justice are turning very slowly.
4 years.
Yep. So I have a vague memory of it.
Does that mean you can't be?
Well, it's up to the lawyers on both sides. And so on April 12th or before, you find out whether
You call the number?
I'm sure if I am selected, they call me.
Oh.
I'm now upgraded.
Oh, so you've gone to the next level.
I'm on the next level. And in the old days, you go into the courtroom and they ask you questions in front of the judge, and you see what the defense attorneys ask and what the prosecutor asks, and then you get to be rejected or accepted on the spot, or at least if you're accepted, you go to round 2. And I only made it that far once. It was a malpractice case, and as soon as they heard I was an acupuncturist, I was out of there. They didn't want me. And I think I got maybe a 50-50 chance. That's just pure guessing at this point. There are a couple of things that might disqualify me outright. I don't know. So and the trial is expected to last a month.
A month? What are you going to do for a month?
Well, it's 4 days
a day. Would you go there?
4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday.
Can you be on the show still?
Yeah, because it's over at 4:30 every day.
But we can't talk about it, you guys.
We can't talk about it. No.
What happens if you don't get chosen? Can we talk about it then?
I think so. They might give you an instruction to say, well, nothing's been revealed to me. So I imagine, well, actually some things were revealed. But nothing that the judge could say, no, I don't think so. I don't think they can control you that much. If you're a juror, they can absolutely hold you to secrecy.
Oh yeah.
Until the trial's over.
Yeah.
And then you can write your book.
Yeah.
And they don't let you take notes while you're in
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. And that's not because I remember that it happened 4 years ago. It's because they stated the dates in the questionnaire.
Wow.
And they'll ask, they'll ask you, do you know a lot about it? A little about it? Nothing about it?
Do you think they want you to know something about it?
I think they'd rather have you know nothing, ideally. But sometimes cases make it to the papers, and it's almost impossible to find somebody who doesn't know anything about it.
Did this one make it to the paper? It did. I wonder, okay, so I've like been called a few times in my life, and I'm usually out of the country, or I get, sorry, can't do it, or sorry, I've never gone that far, and I don't really want to do it.
Well, one of the best movies ever, and they've done 3 different versions, 12 Angry Men. It was probably originally a play, and the whole movie takes place in the jury room. And the first movie was Henry Fonda, and a bunch of other incredible actors. And I won't give away too much. A lot of you maybe have seen it, or different versions. I've seen all the versions. And in the movie, it's a murder trial, and within the first few minutes of the movie, they take a vote just to see where everyone is. 11 vote to convict, and 1 doesn't. Of course, that's Henry Fonda, and I won't tell you what happens, but it's an incredible movie.
What's the new one have, like all the young?
It's a different actor. Like the next version, I think, was with Jack Lemmon. And,
yeah, that's what Jay Smith said.
Yeah.
But there's a newer one, like with what, George Clooney? Brad Pitt? I hope so.
Well, now it would be, 6 angry women and 6 angry men. You couldn't have 12 angry men.
Couldn't be 12 angry women.
You probably wouldn't get 12 angry women on a jury. You'd probably get 6 and 6. But back in 1960,
right, that's what I was trying to get to. I don't know these new people. I don't know the new kids on the block. Like, I look at a People magazine now sometimes and go, who are all these people?
Oh yeah.
Why are they dressed the way they're dressed?
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Don't wear that. That's like dumb. But well, that's exciting, Andy. So a month. So Monday through Friday, or Tuesday through Friday?
Tuesday through Friday.
And you work on weekends?
Well, no. Well, I will now. I will, if I get in this, I will push my work to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and evenings.
Are you still meeting people in their cars in the parking lots?
Yeah, although it's not a parking lot. There are a couple of really nice places in San Anselmo, beautiful residential street near a park.
That's nice.
And then can let the dog run in the park. And yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so what did you have for lunch, for breakfast, whatever today?
Oh, well, I'm looking at the pot. So I made a pot of good Japanese. Oh, so here, I don't know if I've talked about my favorite rice. But,
no.
We know about white rice and we know about brown rice. Well, think about maybe 100 years ago, 200 years ago, the machinery that it would take to grind the germ off the rice to make white rice, it wasn't that great. So I buy a rice. You can't get it many places. You can get it at the Tokyo Market in Berkeley. And It's called Haiga, Haiga, and it has the germ still on it. So it's kind of a hybrid. Brown rice basically is the same thing as white rice without the husk, not the husk, the cell wall, the pericarpium, and without the germ. So that's why white rice isn't quote as nutritious, because you've lost that part of the rice that has all good stuff in it. So this rice has the germ. And if you go to Japan, or if you go to a real Japanese market where you can buy, you can look and it says 80%, 70%,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
60%, right? It's how strong they use to grind the outer portions of the, yeah. So this is probably like 75%.
And is it sweeter?
Well, it has all the niceness of white rice. Like I like that sticky
Yeah.
consistency, that rubbery.
Mm,
Oh my God.
mm.
And it looks darker than white rice.
Whatever you just did right now, I can hear you much better.
Oh, good. I didn't do a thing.
Hold on a second, Suzanne, Lake County today? You should have hooked up with my sister and hung out at the ranch for the day. Oh, bummer. Well, I hope you're safe. Heading to Portland. Wow. Can we see the rice? Can you show us some of this rice?
Uncooked or cooked?
Both.
All right.
Don't you guys think?
Hold on.
Uncooked and cooked. Suzanne, we miss you. Your wife, she served, really? Gracie served once, I remember a long time ago. I think I did too. I don't really have an interest in doing so, but I would. Okay.
I don't know if
Hold on
the
a second.
lighting.
I'm gonna put you into speaker mode so that okay.
I don't know if the lighting does it justice. I don't know if you can really see what's going on here. It doesn't. It just looks like it could be
really going
oatmeal.
on there? Tell us what's going on.
It could
there.
be oatmeal. But I'll just show you the bag. Now this brand is
Haiga.
Yeah, Haiga. Is it coming out mirror version, or could you actually read this?
Yeah. I can read it.
My camera's mirror version.
No, we can see it.
So this is a huge company, Nishiki. There are better brands, but you could pay a hell of a lot of money.
So but you just cook it like in your rice cooker.
All right, so.
And it's stickier, and it's.
When I was in Japan, an older Japanese woman showed me how to make flawless rice. Really? Every time. And you don't measure anything. So
you use your hand?
With your finger. So you put the rice, the uncooked rice in a pot, doesn't matter what side. Put the rice in the pot, rinse it. You got to rinse it. And then you add water so that when you touch the top of the rice, it's your first knuckle.
Right. I've learned that you put your hand at the bottom and it goes to here. Same.
Yeah, but see, hands are variable.
The first knuckle. Okay.
Muhammad Ali's hand's going to be different than your hand.
Ooh, right? I loved his hands.
Yeah, but most people, the first knuckle is not a huge variation.
Mine's pretty long.
Yeah. And of course, you can vary it slightly. White rice versus brown rice versus quinoa versus, you just get a touch for it. But it's roughly that one knuckle.
I remember when you went to Japan.
Yeah, I did.
So, okay, so then the rice does it have more of a consistency like
sushi rice?
It's like sushi rice without putting the vinegar in, without having to do things to it. Okay.
Well, no, not quite as
Pliable.
gooey. Yeah.
Haiga. Haiga.
Yeah.
Haiga rice.
Haiga. And then, I'm lazy. So for lunch, so this is, I made lentils. So Japanese rice, Indian curry lentils.
Nice.
Oh, hey, why not? And but then I was sick of the lentils for dinner. So then I just, and again, because I'm lazy, I just took some sheet of seaweed, put it over the fire to make it crisp. And then you crumple it up over the rice. And then if you have your sesame seeds with a little salt. And then you're allowed to do this with this version. You can put some soy sauce on. Normally, you'd never put soy sauce on rice in Japan. That's like putting ketchup on a steak in France. You don't do it.
I love basmati rice too. I love basmati rice. So, in your opinion, what's better, cooking rice in a pot or using a rice cooker?
Well, all right, now I'm going to really get into it. These pans, and this is crazy. You don't all have to go off the deep end. These are made of titanium. Titanium. And you see how they don't have a handle? Hold on one sec.
I'm so glad you're here, Chris and John. And no hamburger. Yeah, no, we don't. No, that hamburger was just because he had his vaccination.
Okay, you watching? This stuff is made out of bowling ball material, and it just clicks on. And then
these are those pans that the one and the
big.
Yeah.
So you can put different size handle on.
Yep.
So the thing about these, you were asking about rice. Almost any pan that you could think of is going to leach shit into your food. Any pan, even the most good earth pan that you could buy at the health food store, it's all shit.
I have a good pan.
Yeah, but I bet you it leaches into your food.
It doesn't. I'll show you my pan, but it's downstairs.
Yeah, what's it made out of?
I'll show it to you when I'm downstairs.
Okay.
I'll send you.
You know what they put in your body when they put in a fake joint, an artificial joint?
Titanium.
Titanium. Do you know what happens if they don't use titanium? It degrades, like rusts. It falls apart. Titanium is one of the only metals that is basically inert. So it will not leach into the food, and it won't leach into your body.
Yeah, those are cool.
It's an investment, but hey, they're going to outlive me. And yeah, I don't think everyone has to go that far, but
I've gone to those parties. They're fun. It's all shite, John Lennon. Wow. So you cook, you don't use a rice cooker?
No, I do not use a rice cooker.
And cobalt, exactly. Right? Yeah, there's scientists on here right now. So you had curried lentils and rice, and then did you have that for dinner also?
No, I can't eat those particular lentils 2 meals in a row. Because I ate a lot for lunch, and so I had to mix it up.
What did you have?
I told you, Jenna.
What
I had
What'd you have for
For
dinner?
dinner, I had the seaweed.
Oh, the seaweed.
Yeah.
I was listening, but I was listening. But the seaweed, I just get the little things and
Yeah.
the little boxes.
And we make our own gamasio. Gamasio is this crushed sesame seed with salt. And I have a salt tooth.
I do too.
I'd go for fries over dessert any day. So I have to be careful.
I like to eat them together. I put, you know what I do? If I have ice cream, I put a little salt on my ice cream.
Yeah. And salt on the nice dark chocolate too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dark chocolate caramel kind of action. Sure.
Well, forget the caramel. That's just a straight dark chocolate.
Well, every once in a while, I can let myself do that. Like some of us let ourselves eat a hamburger.
Damn.
So, is it possible that Shauna could be watching the show tonight?
It's possible, but I have nothing to confess at this moment.
Have you been watching anything fun?
Yeah. Girls. So the show called Girls. HBO.
Girls.
Lena.
Is it like about young lesbians or something?
No, it's about 20-something women in New York City. The show's about 8 years old now.
It's like the next Sex in the City. When I was in New York, it was Sex in the City.
Yeah, and so many actors. Like I saw the first season when it started, and then somehow I lost it. And it's just very clever. And now looking back, so many actors got their start with this show. It was a sort of a sneaker runaway hit. Judd Apatow is helped produce it, and Lena Dunham is a writer director.
Magazine now.
Well, she's hilarious. She has no filter. She's just out there. It's a great show.
And what's the other one? The Norwegian one.
Lilyhammer.
Lilyhammer. Great. Is that on Amazon?
No, Netflix.
Lilyhammer. That's the one where the guy goes to, he's for witness protection.
Steven Van Zandt. He's playing a similar character that he played in Sopranos, except this is a spoof. This is a complete spoof.
I want to watch that.
He's a good bad guy. He's a good-hearted bad guy.
Well, he was a good-hearted bad guy on The Sopranos too. So.
Not quite.
He cared. Oh, yeah. John loves girls. Girls. I love girls.
Yeah. Adam Driver got his big breakout right there.
I don't know these people.
Well, you might know him if you watched the more recent Star Wars. I didn't think you would. And yeah.
I fell asleep in the first Star Wars, and that was it.
Probably because you were like 6 years old.
I was like 9. I was so bored. And I was so bored in Star Wars. I'm like, is this over yet? And then the bar scene happened, and that was cool. And then I fell back to sleep.
And they try and riff off that bar scene every time, and it just doesn't work when you keep running that. You can't do it over and over and over.
And then this, did you see Lillian's anime?
I did. Who did that?
The Morocco family.
Ah, wow.
Did you see me?
No.
Oh, I'm crazy looking. I'm like crazy. Now, Rob, when I see it large, now I see what you mean. This thing next to her face, it looks like a leaf or something, but it's so dramatic. Me, I'm kind of scary looking as anime.
Oh, I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
Debbie. Let me see if I can find it. Lilyhammer. Gracie, remember Lilyhammer? We have to watch that. Well, do you think Gracie will like it?
Yeah, I do. Well, yeah. Um, we have to see her tolerance. There's tiny bits of violence, but it's wow,
That's my scary one.
wow.
It looks scarier in person. And somehow they make me look, I look like I'm 9 here with brown eyes and very little nose. There's like this much of my nose is my nose in this one. Anyway, so what are you doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's I was gonna
Tomorrow
say, is
I
tomorrow
work.
Thursday? Is tomorrow Thursday? No, today's Tuesday.
What today's Tuesday. I work at Modern Acupuncture, the acupuncture spa, community acupuncture in a beautiful spa-like setting.
Like Patty's grandson just made you watch how many? Watch all 7 movies of Star Wars? Goodness. Whoa.
So when I was growing up, they used to have triple feature Bond movies at the Solano, at the movie theater on the top of Solano.
Yeah. When that was happening, what?
They would have triple feature Bond movies.
Oh, that's fun.
So you'd go in at, I don't know, noon and come out and it's dark.
Right.
It's like
I remember the very first movie that I saw with you and Shauna.
What? What do we see?
It was at the opera, the place on Van Ness.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw With Nail and I.
And what was that about?
These two guys in the UK, and they were best friends. And then I think we met Wilma and Steve, and it was like,
oh my God.
we walked from your apartment and met Wilma and Steve, and then we went to the bookstore afterwards.
Wow.
Like 1987.
You have an incredible memory. I'm going to look up With Nail and I.
With Nail and I. And it was very, their accents, their Cockney accents really challenged. I mean, it was like, what did he just say? What did he say?
Well, all the Mike Leigh movies, maybe it was a Mike Leigh movie, you need subtitles. Like Train Spotting.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Train Spotting. Totally.
Because it's not only the accent, it's all slang.
Yeah. Yeah. I got lost. I think I fell asleep in Train Spotting. If I don't go to a movie during the day, I'm like,
yeah, you can't do this during the day. Can't do it during the day.
007. Yeah, 007.
And so what happened with me is all the Bond movies merged.
When you watch them in three in one day?
Yeah. So
totally.
They all blended together in this big mushy.
You're like, was that in that one? And would that happen?
No, I can't separate out the Sean Connerys from the other guys who just were nothing. Like, I don't even want to name them, except Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig
rivals Sean Connery. I mean, I don't want to compare, but he brought the Bond movies back.
Yeah. I think I probably would have liked Daniel a little bit more than Sean.
Yeah. And Idris Elba would have been unbelievable, but I don't know why. I mean, I know why he probably turned it down, because he could do so many other things.
Yeah.
Because once you're Bond, you're.
Hey, Zeno's here. There's a lot of groovy people on here tonight. They keep floating in and out. Shaken, not stirred. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not a. So, okay. We know rice now. What is it? Haiga rice.
And remember last time I invented a dish. I don't know. Left the matzo balls that I had left over without any soup left. So I made miso soup and put the matzo balls in the miso soup.
You did. We were talking about that. Were we
Yeah.
talking about that on the show?
Yes.
In
And
person?
and
Yeah.
I'm gonna license that I'm gonna go around to a few Michelin rated restaurants and see if they'll buy it from me.
Do you remember the restaurant Or Italia?
Yeah. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was an Asian Italian restaurant, and they came around and gave, it was like dim sum.
But was it in North Beach? Fior
No,
d'Italia? You're not saying Fior d'Italia.
no, Or Italia, Oriental Italian
I don't.
mashup. I got food poisoning there so bad the second time I ate there that I never went back. But the first time, the second time was great too, till I almost died. They're
You
no
went
longer.
back for more?
No, the first time I didn't. The second time I had food poisoning. I went with a friend, and we both got really sick.
Oh. Well, now fusion is so like.
This was in the 80s.
Yeah, that would have been, way ahead of its time. Way ahead.
Yeah. So what's happening on the baby front?
We're waiting.
Like any day now?
May.
Okay.
Most likely the month of May.
May 1st, May 15th, May 23rd, May 27th is Mama Grace's birthday.
Probably won't be that late. I think I'm betting on May 11th because it's a new moon and apogee, meaning where the moon is farthest away from the Earth in its orbit around the Earth. Because all these orbits are elliptical and not perfect circles.
Oh, they're like this, right?
Yeah, so there's a point where it's closest and a point where it's farthest. So, I want to show you something cool. This is how, in one glance,
Hold on.
so this is called the tide log. And some people in Bolinas started this, I don't know, a long time ago, and then they sold it to a couple who are now on the East Coast. But so you get this for your region. This is Northern California. And it's got all the tide tables, all the standard tables. But if you look at these stupid tables, it's boring and you can't see, you can't. But look at this. They took an Escher painting.
No.
And there's so much crammed into one image. You see where the moon, well, first of all, you see where the sun rises and falls, the time of day. You see where the moon rises and falls, time of day. You see how the moon relates to the sun. You see the different tides, like if you're looking at a full page, you can see where there's super high and low or not so high and low.
Okay.
And then down here, you see what's going on with the planets. That might be interesting, like what's going on here. I need my glasses.
Is that every day?
Well, the planets don't change that quickly, so they're going to be to you once a week, but these are daily. So today, folks, what's today? 6th. I have to look here. Where we are, San Francisco Bay Area, the sunrise was at 6:47. Sunset was at 7:38. But check this out. This time of year, things are changing fast. So yesterday, the sunset was at 7:37. Today, the sunset 7:38. Tomorrow, 7:39, 7:40, 7:41, 7:41. It's changing roughly 1 minute a day on one end and 1 minute a day on the other.
Right.
It's moving fast right now. Yeah, 1 minute change for sunrise, 1 minute change for sunset. So we're gaining 2 minutes of light a day right now. Yeah, what are we doing with all that time that we have now to be productive?
William said he didn't know tides were so sexy. Do you remember? I don't know if it's still there. I think it was in South Salito. That water. It was the water model, the bay
Bay
model.
model.
Yeah.
Bay model. Oh
It's
yeah.
still there.
Oh yeah.
I love the bay model.
Yeah. It's Army Corps of Engineers.
My dad and I used to hang out at the bay model.
Really?
Let's go over to the bay model. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every time he was in town, we would go to the bay model.
Yeah. It's I don't know, 1 to 10,000 scale, 1 to 1,000 scale.
It's so cool, you guys. It's
awesome.
the whole bay, and it's like it's a model of the bay, and they fill up the water and they do all these tests, and it's really neat. Tide book for Edmonton is a no-go. That's probably true. Oh, that's good. So, have you been hypnotizing many people this past week?
Well, today's Tuesday. I'm getting a couple next week, right before jury duty.
You're gonna get it. They're gonna call you. They like you.
Who?
Let's talk tomorrow, Carl. They want you on this jury.
Oh, well, we'll see.
I foresee it happening.
I
do. So one of the things that there are some people on this show tonight that don't know what you do.
Oh.
Besides being an acupuncturist you've been an acupuncturist for 35 years? 33, 4, 5?
34. 34. So I've been an acupuncturist for 34 years, and I've been doing hypnotherapy since 2005. Wow. It started almost exclusively for smokers. There's a particular technique to work with smokers. One session, quit for good. And then from that, other habits. But nothing is as easy as tobacco to deal with. Everything else is more complicated. Not that everything else is extremely difficult, but nothing is straightforward as
Can you explain why smoking is the easiest?
Well, do I need to bore everyone else who's already heard this?
No, because they probably forgot.
They probably forgot. All right. I'll talk as if I'm talking to a smoker for the first time, and it's going to take about 4.5 minutes. Ready?
Go.
Okay. Imagine giving a 5-year-old a puff of a cigarette. There's no 5-year-old that would take a second puff, right? Because they're animals, and they don't care what their friends think. They don't care what Surgeon General has. They don't care about anything other than the physical sensation of smoke entering the lungs, and the body completely rejects it. It's the same thing as if you wave a cigarette under a dog's nose or a horse's nose. Any animal with lungs is going to reject it because there's nothing in tobacco smoke the body wants or needs. So that's the truth of tobacco smoke interacting with the body. That's the truth. Then move forward to teenage years, because that's when 90% of smokers start smoking. And if somebody starts smoking, their body is still saying no, no, no. But by definition, if they start smoking, something's pushing them in the other direction. That's almost always social. So the unconscious mind is getting mixed signals, no, 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 from the physical body. But on the other side, hey, I'm feeling good. I'm with my friends. I'm cool. I'm a rebel. I'm an adult. whatever it was for them. They're feeling good. And then the unconscious mind says, hey, I'm feeling good. Oh, look, there's a cigarette in my hand. It must be the cigarette. Just like Pavlov's dog conditioning. Ring a bell, feed the dog, ring a bell, feed the dog. Pretty soon, the dog links the sound of the bell with food because they always came together. But there's really no connection between a bell and food, but they artificially came together. And then for the dog, they're forever linked. For the teenage smoker, feeling good is getting linked with the cigarette. The unconscious mind develops this belief, oh, I know how to feel good, smoke a cigarette. That's the bad news. And by the way, it's not about nicotine, because if it were about nicotine, then the gum and the patch would do the trick. It's a really low level, not effective way to quit smoking, just to substitute nicotine. So there's got to be something else going on, and that's what we're talking about, this psychological false belief, I know how to feel good, smoke a cigarette. So the truth will set you free, right? I bring up the example of drinking gasoline because it's so clear to everyone. We don't drink gasoline, but we don't wake up in the morning thinking, okay, how am I going to make it through today without drinking any gasoline? Maybe I'll go to a meeting. Maybe I'll get my neighbor to go to the gas station for me because my tanks aren't empty. We don't do that because a very long time ago, both the conscious mind and the unconscious mind realized, hey, it's a mortal threat. You don't have to worry about drinking gasoline. I'll take care of it for you. This is what your unconscious mind says to you. We'll make sure you don't drink gasoline so you can forget about it. And so our experience in life is we don't ever think about it. We never worry about it. And yet we never drink gasoline. So then I say to the smoker, I say, what would happen if your unconscious mind saw tobacco the same way it sees gasoline? You wouldn't want to smoke, and you wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't worry about it. You wouldn't obsess about it. It would be over. So how does the unconscious mind get there? That's where the hypnosis comes in. And I like to use the example of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. When she sees behind the curtain the truth is there is no wizard. It's just this little old man operating a machine. All it takes is one time. It's over. The spell's broken. She'll never be fooled by the wizard ever again for the rest of her life. And she just had to see behind the curtain once. Once the truth was revealed, it's over. So we pull the curtain on tobacco. You get to see it the way your 5-year-old self would see it. The truth of it, there's nothing in tobacco the body wants or needs, zero. So that's an important thing. There are two natural forces that will enable you to quit smoking for good. One, there's nothing in tobacco the body wants or needs. Zero, it could leave the planet. Two, the unconscious mind only cares about one thing, keeping you safe, keeping you alive. That's it. You bring those two things together, it's like gasoline. You will never smoke again.
I used to love the smell of gasoline. Yeah, you're pretty right on. I was watching the time. It's stopsmokes.com, correct?
Freedom from smokes.com. Freedom from smokes, plural.com.
Freedom. I love that song, George Michael. Freedom from smokes. I already got the .com there. Yeah, you were pretty right on the 4.5 minutes.
I'm a machine.
Have you practiced that? Have you rehearsed that as a 4.5 minute?
I say that. I go through that with every smoker who calls me. After I find out from them why they want to quit and why now. Because I want to gauge their level of determination. Mm-hmm. Because if they're just kind of wondering, maybe someday they're thinking about quitting, it ain't gonna happen. So I want to see a strong level. I hate this shit. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm never gonna smoke again. That's that's when you can get them.
That's really cool, Andy.
It's so cool. It's so fun. It's so.
Do you have fun?
I have fun. You know, I was just listening to somebody talk about somebody who has a repetitive job. Like it was a trainer, a corporate trainer, and they, you know, they do the same talk day in and day out. But somebody told them, you know what? For the people that you are talking to, they haven't heard this ever.
Right.
You're the first one to say this to them. So I don't know if you could tell. I like this. I'm excited about it, and I don't think many people do this the way I do it. I mean, I'm not tooting my horn here. There are a lot of people who believe in the field that it's hard to quit and that they need to go through God knows what 6 weeks of group whatever, who knows, take Wellbutrin, take
But what's that other one that people get like whacked out on? Chantix.
They're all horrible. They're powerful drugs that will affect your brain chemistry. You don't need that. And you don't need nicotine replacement. It's just like I have another image. You know, somebody, when you first learn how to ride a bike, you get on the bike. This is a kid learning how to ride a bike. They get on the bike, they immediately follow. I mean, it's impossible. It's this skinny thing on two wheel. You know, it's impossible. But yet you keep trying, and then there's this moment, this magical moment where you're balancing, and then nobody's holding on, and suddenly you know how to ride a bike, and you can never go back. And it happened like that. You one moment it's impossible, the next moment, how could you not know how to ride a bike? It's like a switch goes off. And some people it spontaneously happens. You know, they'll wake up one morning, they'll smoke that first cigarette, and you know something won't work. It just, what's going on? Something shifted, and the cigarette is like disgusting to them now, whereas the day before, no problem. And it's like something shifted. But to wait for that to happen, who knows when it would happen. So I know how to line
So it's immediate.
up.
With smoking, it's immediate.
It's immediate. Now you could say there's there's a building, you know, by the time I get them, they're ripe. You know, it's they're ripe picking. And so there is a process. For instance, I rarely get people under 30 because people under 30 they haven't been disgusted enough, or it hasn't really hit them yet. But 30 is a magic number. When people hit that big birthday, they start to question some of the things.
Saturn return, and then they get to be 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So 30, all big birthdays are a time. If somebody loses a relative or a friend, that can do it. Women who get pregnant, oh my God, women who get pregnant, they quit. They don't need any help. They quit. But a lot of women after breastfeeding will start smoking again. Ooh. Because what happened for them is their unconscious mind said, okay, now it's not just about you. You got somebody else depending on your blood, right? So there's this this natural force that says, no, you're not going to do this while this baby is dependent on your very blood, including breastfeeding. Then when baby's not breastfeeding, then unconscious mind says, hey, you know what? You're free now. That cigarette's starting to look good. It happens a lot.
I know people that quit smoking and then they walk by cigarettes and they go, oh, that smells so good.
Yeah, and then people who've quit, the one, I mean, it doesn't matter what the story is, it all boils down to one thing. They let themselves have that one puff,
Mhm.
that one cigarette, and they fool themselves and they think, oh, hey, it's been 3 years. I'm in Vegas. I could cut loose. Let
Got
me
a
just have
martini in my
one.
hand.
Yeah. Um,
I'm hanging out in Mexico on the beach with
yeah.
Chris.
Or it was so easy to quit. I
Right.
could just have this one and then,
Right.
but it's just, it's like, hey, I can just have this sip of gasoline, hey, just this one time. I haven't had any gas in a long time. That's ridiculous. You would never
I
consider
haven't
that.
had a guess. It's been a while since I've had
Yeah,
gas.
we all laugh at that, but it's the same thing for a cigarette.
Yeah,
It's
but different for food. We've discussed how difficult it can be for food.
food is, so again, tobacco could leave the planet. We'd be fine. Oxygen could not leave the planet. Water could not leave the planet. But
Clean?
food cannot leave the planet. But tobacco can. That's why it's so easy. Because it's black and white. Your body can see it immediately. Just the way a young child or an animal instinctively knows. No way.
Well, can you come back next week and we can talk more about this?
Oh my God, we've gone over.
No, it's fine.
I've kept you up.
This is early. These shows go like way into the night, into the next day. It is the next day already. Oh, tomorrow morning, you guys were baking carrot cake.
All right, so
I
next
have to go
week,
grate 3 cups of carrots. Next week, you may be in the jury.
I may or may not. So I will know.
Okay.
But I'll be here because
But with you're in it, we can't talk about it. We'll talk about
we can't talk any
my housemate, roommate, friend right
I
here.
could probably talk about how I needed to go to the bathroom and I couldn't, or I could talk about the food maybe, or how hard or easy it was to park. But
And you might end up getting some clients there.
oh sure, I'm gonna
On the jury, they'll be like, I gotta go out and smoke a cigarette. You're like, hey.
Yeah. Or before the judge comes in, I could just do what I just did.
You're 4.5 minutes. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patty's gonna go get some prep work done also. I know, we're making carrot cake tomorrow. I was gonna make cookies, Patty, but I didn't want to like freak anything out, so I'm not making them. I'm just gonna do the regular carrot cake.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll see you next week, but we won't talk about it.
We no, that's probably a felony.
What happens if someone does do that?
I'm not going to be dramatic.
Does anyone know?
I think
like what if you got on the jury and then you got on Facebook you got on my show and start, well, here's the story. There's this guy.
I'm not a lawyer, but depending on what is told, a mistrial could be declared and they'd have to start the whole process over again. So it would cause a lot of harm. I absolutely.
I'm not suggesting you do anything. I just.
No. And, not to be patriotic. I mean, I grew up in Berkeley, right? But there are some things I am proud of. And one of the things I'm proud of is that in this country, theoretically, it doesn't always work in practice. We have the right to a speedy trial. We have the right to a trial by jurors of our peers. That absolutely is problematic. All white juries.
Right.
But in theory,
angry men.
It exists and we strive towards that. And so that's why I love 12 Angry Men, the movie. It's that it's when a jury works as it should, and so for all of you who have not seen 12 Angry Men, see any version of it. I think there are three. Um, the Henry Fonda, the Jack Lemmon, and I forgot who did the most recent.
Like, what's that one guy's name that was in La La Land?
Oh,
Maybe it's him.
no, I don't think it was that recent.
Fun. What's that guy's name though? Everyone, all the girls like him.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah. What if it's Ryan Gosling? 12 Angry Men, starring Ryan Gosling.
No, sorry, I don't know. It it wouldn't work. You have to have gravitas.
What about Matthew McConaughey? Hey.
No, it's got to be somebody at least 60 years old.
Matthew McConaughey is close.
No, he's not.
How old is Matthew McConaughey?
You didn't say, "Hey Siri."
I don't have to say, "Hey Siri."
You're just right. Siri just answers you.
Siri calls me Little Mama. Hello, Little Mama.
Maybe that's because my phone is so old.
Matthew McConaughey is 51.
See?
Bill Jones was a juror for a gang murder trial in Bergen County 10 years ago. Ugh. Bergen County.
Well, I'll talk to Bill after the.
Yeah, he's almost 60. Matthew McConaughey. Hey.
51 is not almost 60. Give me a break. I know what 60 is like.
Now, did Shauna turn 60 or is she going to be 60 this November? She did? This year was her 60?
Yeah, she's 60.
Yeah, I want Shauna to be on a conversation with the creators, which is the creatives. Creator, did I say creatives? Oh, I bet, Bill. Sounds horrible. Conversation with the creatives a Thursday night. That's not Corona Roki. So one of these Thursdays when she could take a nap before the show, right?
Oh, she can hang.
Because usually she's sleeping right back there.
Yeah.
Well, have fun. I don't want you to miss any more girls. And besides, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 2, 4 right now.
1, 2, 2, 4.
But it's soon to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You missed it. Was it you that said you missed it?
Yeah, I missed 4,
4, 3, 2, 1.
I
saw it right at. I saw it. I knew what it was, but I looked at the clock because I have a friend. My friend Tony and I, whenever we see 1, 2, 3, 4, we text each other. But it was. I saw the clock at 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4, 3, 2, 1. That was cool.
Next week we'll talk about Pi Day, which happened March 14th.
I love Pi Day.
Yeah.
I don't like math. I love Pi Day.
Okay.
Dr. Andrew Rader, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rowdy crowd. This crowd goes on forever. I know. She just texted me. She wanted to go for a walk. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to go for a walk?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm on my show." She's like, tell him you gotta go. Let's go for a walk. I know. Carol, yeah. Well, Chris messaged me and let's get you on the show. And you guys, Chris Parsons, the link that he sent for the San Pancho Music Festival, all the photos on there, I'm sure 99.9% of them are photographed by Chris Chris. And we have to make this happen. Always interesting. Yeah. Andy's always, it's so much fun. So see you in a few hours. We're going to be making carrot cake. Julie Luce, I miss you. And you're not going to be here for carrot cake in the morning. Oh, well, we'll catch up some other time. What's done, Chris? What are we talking about? Lilyhammer, right? Lilyhammer, Mama Grace. We need to watch Lilyhammer. I need to go great. I almost was going to use my spiralizer because I thought it would be pretty. Night, Carol. We need to talk. Can we talk tomorrow? I had some thoughts. Oh, I know. Well, I'll be down, but I want to get a crew to come down for a week, Chris. I want to get a crew to come down for a week, take over a little place. One day we go, you know, I don't want to go all the way to the hot springs because I'll be throwing up the whole time. But, one day like we do a jungle thing with you and then we go drink some tequila and we go over to how's my friend? How's my nice friend that's family makes tequila on that cool place? Oh, Chris, you know what I need? Your herbalist friend, he has this spray, that arnica pain spray. That shit's good. Oh, Patty, please. You really going to sleep? Chris, let's talk. Okay, everybody. Still, I love it. Canada, Mexico. We could go to tequila. We could do a trip to tequila, you guys. Patty. I have my. This is a short, short trip to tequila. It's been sitting there for like a week now. And this is water. Anyway, 11:11 with Jenna happens every day at 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, I still have that. Looks like the water's green. That's my green powder. So I have to go set up. Cool. I have to go set up for carrot cake for Mama Grace. We're going to be practicing for her birthday. Okay, okay. Everybody, that wasn't cool. No. Yay. Birthday for Mama Grace. All right. Adios. Big hug. Super fun. Zeno, thank you. Zeno, I got to talk to you about my car. So many people to talk to. I'm just going to go hide out in my little pad, everybody. I'm so glad you were here to hang out with us tonight on I know. Well, let's just hang out and talk then, Zeno, because we got to talk because the Charmers have a gig on May 7th. But I have a gig next Friday night right here. It's going to be, I believe, at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's kind of early, though, isn't it? Maybe we'll do it at 8 because then at least it's 5 in California. I hadn't thought about that. Yep, I think we need to do it at 8 with pianist David Lam. And that will be after we record because we are recording next Tuesday. We're making a record. So much to talk about besides the car. Mama Grace, see you in a little bit. Lily and Pearl, let's go do that walk thing and look at the stars. Everyone, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a day of talking. It is. Starting with baking with Patty. Yeah, record with David Lam. I know, I'm so excited. You guys, stay safe. Be nice. Go get some rice. Stay healthy. Oh, there's my hoot. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Welcome to my brain. Thank you very much. Good night. Thanks, Andy. No, seriously. Thanks, Andy. Love heart.